afternoon, guys. Happy Monday. It's good to reconvene and get ready, as we prepare here for our last opportunity this season. We got a week off here for the guys to be able to focus on their schoolwork, being that they got to finish up early here because we're leaving tomorrow after practice to head down to Frisco for this opportunity that we're really excited about to play in this bowl game. And so last week was a good week that we were able to use recruiting during the middle of the week as our players, again, were lifting and running and finishing up their schoolwork. And then we got back this weekend and had 3 practices. And, man, there were 3 really good practices. And it's because of the leadership and the guys on our team. Saturday's practice was one of the most physical practices we had all year. It was good to see the guys compete with each other and get after it, as we work into our game plan practices as we head into the full week of preparation here for North Texas and the Frisco Bowl. We've been very diligent with our time, with our game preparation, our recruiting, and everything that's going on right now. Really proud of our coaches and excited. It's been fun. All the things that go on with recruiting this time of the year. In the contact period, we were able to get out, get around to a lot of different places to touch base here in the contact period as we move closer to signing day. And our coaches did a great job with that, as well as game planning and getting ourselves ready and getting prepared and getting set up for the practices that we had this weekend with our players and as we move forward. With that being said, we'll start the questions.
Coach, you guys haven't played in the bowl game in a couple of years. You guys haven't won one since 17, right? How much of an impact does winning a bowl game at the end of the season have on the following season? Does that carry over very well?
Well, we haven't played in one in a while, so that's the biggest thing. This group of young men, this team, this family deserves this opportunity. This is a bowl game that we are excited to be in, and our players, again, they've shown that with their preparation here in our first 3 practices over the weekend. It's an opportunity to finish strong. It's going to take great preparation and keeping our focus and staying locked in on what we get to do and the opportunity we have. Obviously, we go on the road, and we're on the road for a few days here, and how we keep our focus and keep our purpose right, manage our accountability, and make sure we have urgency every day with our practices down there. And there's going to be plenty of time down there too. We got some things set up as a program. We've set up extra things for our players to do to ensure that they have a good time with their free time down there. I mean, we got top golf set up for them on top of what the bowl has done for them. It's it's good for some of those guys to go figure out that they don't know how to play golf. Some of them actually can play golf pretty good. But opportunities to go to the movies and hang out with each other. Every year it's a new team. Every year it is a new team. How we finish is everything. How we finish in school this week is everything. How we finish, this season is everything. So yes, to answer your question, it is a big deal to finish strong. And I'm excited. We've got some great young men. Fortunately, some of them are going to graduate and move on. Some of them will get the opportunity to keep playing the game. Some of them will move into a new arena and compete in that arena. And I know this. I mean, we got a lot of talented men that will be going on into the real world that we're excited for them. We will miss them, but this one last opportunity here this week, we are going to have fun together preparing.
You guys obviously have a strong connection with the Dallas-Fort Worth area. 12 players from Texas, and you can throw in the Cowboy connections. I mean, what does it mean for you guys to be down in this area, and how cool is it for the kids from the area that get to play close to home?
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's for us, we're very grateful to be in this bowl game. It is, we will be practicing, for a few days there at the Star. The connections with the Cowboys, the guys that have played here, they're either coaches and players, being able to help us with that and move around their practice schedule is huge. We're very grateful for the Cowboys for allowing us to do that. And it's an honor to be in and around that facility. And obviously we have guys that have played here that are currently playing for them that we love and looking forward to catching up with. And obviously Kellen is there and doing a great job. So we're excited to see all those guys. They're going to be busy, so I'm not sure how much we'll be able to get to catch up with them. But you know, for the players on our team, what an awesome opportunity. Again, we do recruit Texas. We do have a fair amount of Texas guys on our team. It's always exciting, you know, as a player to be able to go back and play where you grew up. And there's obviously guys from, you know, all over the West Coast where we get to go and play throughout the course of the year with our conference schedule and things like that. But what an opportunity for our guys from Texas for us to be able to play there in a bowl game.
Obviously.
The rules, recruiting. Are you able to do any recruiting while you're down there this week?
So we are, yes.
Because I think there's some state finals going on.
Yes, there are. There are rules that are still open, and how we manage the windows of everything. Again, like it's almost a 2.5 week recruiting period, this contact period, of which we got 5 days because of it. The championship game and the bowl game, we got, you know, only 5 days to be out on the road to make sure that we're handling what we need to here with our players and our preparation, and 1 weekend of official visits when others get 3. So we gotta multitask just a little bit here and there, and that's why I say it's awesome to see you know, our coaches. Again, everything is about perspective, right? It's like, hey, we're gonna go hard for this week, or we're gonna drag it out for 2 weeks. We don't get a choice. We get to go hard for a week, and that's why I say really proud of the coaches. Our recruiting staff, right? Recruiting, you know, for them it's around the clock. It's not just the recruiting and the relationships and the diligence, but it's the logistics of which our recruiting staff was able to help us with to get around and to see all the people we did here in the last week.
What have DeAndre Cooper and DeAndre Pierce, you know, meant to this recruiting department? Obviously, 2 younger guys who seem to, you know, really make good connections with recruits.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I mean, everybody's role within this building in each different department is significant, and we're very grateful for the people in our recruiting department and how they work together. Again, in recruiting, it is about building relationships. We don't recruit a ton of people because we are very concerned and very excited about where we spend our time and our energy and who we invest that into as an overall staff. And those 2 are, you know, very invested in creating relationships, you know, with the people that we are recruiting, and as well as around the building. I mean, they're awesome to have around the building, and they always are very diligent with what they do.
How's Jabril fitting in? You know, taking over, and we saw some pictures with him, obviously getting out on the road a little bit. And is he going to be handling that position until the bowl game?
Yeah, so Jabril and I will be working with the edge position through the bowl game. So it's last couple practices, it's been fun out there with him, and it was an awesome opportunity for him to be out on the road. A lot of, you know, it's a new experience for him. And shoot, we all remember our first time out on the road recruiting. There's at a later time we'll go into some of those stories that you guys will get a good laugh out of. But Jabril is I mean, shoot, that's why we do it. Like Jabril, so proud of Jabril and how he's grown, how he came in as a freshman and everything that he's done since he's been here. He's got his master's degree. He is become one heck of a coach, and to see him, you know, help the family and get out on the road and go recruiting, and how he represents our brotherhood and our family here. You know, I'm very proud of him. I know our coaches are proud of him as well.
Will he be considered for possibly the full-time job?
We'll get to that when the bowl game's over.
Transfer portal.
The schools had a policy for bowl games letting players who are married bring their wives on the trip. Do you subscribe to that policy, and if so, why? And is that happening this week, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, that's been the deal. I mean, that's most. Think about it real quick, but every school that I've ever been at does that. It's different when you're married and you're a student athlete. I mean, there's a lot of different things that if you're married that are different for you than if you're not. So that's just one of them. And again, for us, our wives are going on the trip, right? So I don't even know anything different than that.
the transfer portal is the big talk around college football right now. How do you guys do you plan on attacking that pretty hard?
Again, our philosophy here, we are a developmental program. We are about finding the right people with the right skill set and all working together to create a plan of development for everybody in this building, including ourselves, but for the student athletes as people, as students, and obviously as football players. And so we will at times use and investigate the personnel in the transfer portal. But here's the bottom line. We're going to know exactly, again, we don't recruit a lot of people. We're going to recruit the right people. We're going to recruit the people we know. We're going to recruit the people that we know their families. And it is always about the right fit. It's people first, and obviously a certain skill set that fulfills a role that we need to add depth at, or whatever that case may be.
Obviously,
North Texas offense, they put up a lot of numbers this year.
Yeah.
What stands out most on film?
Well, as usual, it starts up front. I mean, they were one of the best rushing offenses in the nation. Physical up front. They run a bunch of different schemes up front in their run game. They do it with tempo. The quarterback's number can be a number in the run game as well. What that does from what we've seen on film then with the tempo, with the physicality up front, there's a lot of numbers in the box, and then it creates space for them down the field. When you see how many explosive pass plays they've had as well, and what some of their wide receivers are averaging per catch, it's pretty high. And in turn, their offense, in terms of yards per game, has been very successful in the amount of points that they're scoring per game.
Dirk will obviously be coaching his last game on Saturday. What have you enjoyed about having him around these last couple of months, and what did he mean to the team, and for him to step in and do what he did, and help out the rest of the season? What are your thoughts on Dirk?
Yeah, but very grateful, for the adjustments we made, earlier this season, and how he's led the offensive staff, and how the job the offensive staff has done for our players, because ultimately that's what it's all about, is being able to provide an environment where players and everybody really can grow, can thrive, can build a level of confidence and a certain mentality needed within this game. And we're very fortunate that he's been able to obviously work with the quarterbacks and help Taylor develop as well. And we get to do it one last time here, and I'm excited. He didn't go out on the road recruiting, so he's been watching a fair amount of film and getting ready, and it's pretty awesome. He's, the amount of time and work that he's put in here for our last opportunity.
You talked about this a few weeks ago, just in terms of the timeline. I know you got the bowl game, but the greater responsibility, are you still on the timeline of announcing a new offensive coordinator by next week?
Yeah, we should be in there pretty close to that timeline. Again, being really diligent. We have so many pieces in place here. Our players are awesome. We spoke to the leadership group last night about what they've done and who they've become and how they've led. And I say all that to say this, is that we have an opportunity to do something special here with the young men we have here, the young men that we are recruiting, and we have a bunch of those pieces in place. So this is such a big opportunity for us to being diligent with it and making sure this fit is right is the most important thing. And really grateful for the belief and the understanding of our players here. And again, when we have a lot of the pieces in place, it's about finding the right fit for everybody, and we are talking to everybody. The personnel we have coming back, coaches, and what that looks like. Yes, we're pretty close to our timeline.
Sometime between Sunday and Wednesday or before signing day. It's important for you to get that out before signing day.
Yeah, there's no question. So we're on our timeline there, Mike, and I'll be honest, it's exciting. It is really exciting. So again, this game, as we all seen, we're talking, you guys are asking about the transfer portal and all that. Change happens in college football. And like anything else in life, it's perspective that you get to keep, and which perspective are you going to take. And for us, what we're talking about all the time here is, change provides opportunity. This year provided opportunity for a lot of young men in this program to grow and thrive, and very proud of how they handled that, earlier this year.
I'm sorry I cut you off.
No worries.
Is that you mentioned the pieces being in place and stuff? I mean, I assume this is a pretty attractive position. I mean, did you get a lot of interest from some high-level candidates for this position? Or?
A lot, and because we do have a lot of pieces in place. Again, we got great young men. It's an unbelievable city, unbelievable university that we're so blessed to be a part of, and that's why it is very, very important that we are extremely diligent, so that we have a great opportunity to make huge strides as we move forward here. So it is about narrowing it down, and it always starts with people, who they are, what their relational skill set is like, their ability to motivate, to lead, and then obviously their performance, their knowledge, their organization, their experience.
Regardless of this position, maybe just bigger picture in terms of hiring, inside the family or outside the family, what kind of perfect balance are you looking for on your staff?
Well, I mean, we'll get into all that, later, Mike. I mean, again, in respect to everybody wanting to know, because it is an exciting time. Let's be honest, it is exciting.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into too much of the details when we get to that point of announcing something. We're going to share all that stuff. We'll go into those things, but I did in respect, and I'm excited too about it. I know everybody else is and eager, but the timing is everything. Make sure we do it the right way.
With the salary pool for your assistant coaches, I know you have it in the contract where it goes up a little bit each year, but what kind of commitment, I guess, from Jeremiah on the give and take there, where to get some quality candidates for some of these kind of jobs, you may have to increase that even more? I mean, what's that kind of conversations been like, or the commitment from the university side to help you get who you want or whatever?
Well, I will say this, and this is, we're not going to go into the great details, but I will tell you this: where we're at and what we're able to do from a resource standpoint, and who we are able to have conversations with because of where we at right now in terms of where we were 2 years ago. It's not even close, and that's because of JD's vision, and JD's ability to be persistent about the vision and doing the things that it's going to take for it to come to life. It's because of our boosters. It is because of the people in this community, and it is because of the leadership on our campus. And they want to continue to see the things that are going on here, the environment that is being built, the culture that is being created. And at the end of the day, I mean, again, that is our players. That is our leadership group, all the way down to our freshmen. But when we get through this bowl game here, you guys will see how much improvement there has been. We got cranes out here working on our stadium right now, not today because of the weather out there, but we're just very grateful that we have a great leader like Jeremiah, and all the support that we are getting from not only the boosters and the people that have taken care of this program for a long time and how much that's increased, but even the companies and organizations within our community here that are even pouring more, not just into the program, but into our players as well.
The defense, obviously, we don't know who's coming back or not for some of those guys, but it's obviously going to look a lot different next year.
Right.
The team in general, but I mean, just this final 4 days down in Texas, this final game together, wanting to go out with a win. I mean, I know it's early, but do you get a sense that this is a motivated group that kind of want to take advantage of this last week together?
BJ, the way they practice over the weekend, I mean, Saturday was a really physical practice. I mean, there was even some extracurriculars. They were getting after it. So, based on the way we've seen them practice over the weekend and the energy that they've had in and around the building, yeah, they're excited because they love each other. They care about each other. We obviously want to do our very best for them too in our preparation for them and everything we are doing to organize this trip, to organize our preparation so that we can maximize, this last week together.
You talk a lot about what this place means and the people it attracts. Gabe Hunter's a dude who had offers from other places but chose to walk on here, has waited his turn. What has he brought to this program, and what work has he done behind the scenes to allow him to start?
Well, he got an opportunity because of injury, and he stepped up and was ready to go. He has been consistent, and that's the thing. He's intelligent. He understands the game. He cares about getting better at the game, and he, because of that, he has been consistent and, stepping in and fulfilling in that role.
DJ Schramm said he wasn't sure if he was going to use his COVID year or not. He has it available, and he's going to take the time. What do you guys do on your end as far as guys maybe you would want? Does that fall in line with the recruiting, with the amount of scholarships? How do you address that, Coach?
There's no question it does. I mean, every year that's the same. That's the conversation, especially now with, as everyone gets an extra year because of the COVID year, right? If guys are going to exercise that sixth year, and everybody's situation is different. It really is. I mean, and ultimately for us here isn't anything, and I say this, and our players know it, we care about what is in their best interest. Would we come back? Would we welcome back with open arms and a big hug? Yeah, but guess what? It is about what's best for our players, and that's what we talk about all the time, and that's what we're committed to. So within some of these situations, it depends on the situation and what are the facts, what are the deciding factors, and sitting down and being able to help provide information, clarity on what some of those factors may be, and listening. Having conversation is as much about listening as it is about anything else.
As you go through offensive coordinator candidates, do you use Dirk Cutter's input or voice at all?
Next question.
Obviously, a lot of guys are deciding to skip bowl games and get ready for draft
Yep.
prep. Have you had those conversations with any players? Do you expect to? No.
And everybody that is, obviously been able to practicing. And, again, that's been awesome to see, And again, it shows how much these guys care about each other in this team. And I know that's a big deal, but it's different. May that pop up at some point, at some time? Yeah, it's what college football is sometimes. But again, we got a lot of guys that are getting an opportunity to go on and play in the NFL. Then in our first 3 practices and all that stuff, they've been out there getting after it. You know what they want to do? They want to continue to prove and showcase their development, showcase the development of our team and how we play together. Again, how we finish together is everything that's important to them.
For the handful of guys who this will be their last game as a BSU player, how excited are you for them to, get out there and try to finish on a high note?
Yeah, there's, again, for the guys on this team that are seniors, that this will be the last game. I mean, honestly, it's hard to talk about because we're going to miss them. We're going to miss them as people. Obviously, we got some very talented players, like we just spoke about. Some of those guys will get the opportunity to go on and play, but you know what? The ones that don't either, they're going to compete and be very successful in whatever arena it is that they go into next. And although we won't get to be around them every single day like we're used to right now, we'll always be here. We know that we always have their back and whatever they need, as they move forward in the future. And obviously we know they'll have ours, and that's the cool thing about the experience here is that you got a bond that just goes beyond the football field. And we're so very proud of, our seniors and the guys that are moving on. They have been a guiding force, a great source of leadership, of being persistent and resilient throughout this season, and we're really proud of them.
Going back to the star, what days are you going, and how did that deal come together? And are you going for intense practices or more kind of the experience? A little bit of both, maybe.
Well, it's the best practice, obviously, situation we can be in. So that is number one. Again, what is best for our preparation, and that is fortunate enough, having the relationships with the people that we do that, within the Cowboys organization, and being able to organize our practice time around their activities. Obviously, is the most important thing for us to be able to get there, but it actually worked out. You know, if it didn't work out, then we had other options that would have been really good too, but the priority is our preparation. And this provides us the best opportunity to prepare. It's right by our hotel. It's not as far as that we were gonna have to travel. And so that's a huge part of it, Mike. It really is. And then, you know, for some of those guys, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that have been, you know, we've had players that have played inside the Star. That's where they played their high school games and stuff like that. So some of the guys have been in there and
Yeah.
all those things. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Brady, where's Jay at? Where's Jay at?
He's in Seattle.
Oh, he went home?
Yeah, he's on a vacation until the bowl.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He's pretty open about the OC search.
Yeah.
That's until your question. He had to get.
Seemed kind of surprising. Like,
Couldn't go a whole presser without getting at least one.
I was like,
that almost seemed obligatory.
like he had. I didn't think it was an out of line question at all. It's like, hey, you got an NFL head coach. Is he gonna help
Maybe you just
pick your OC?
felt like you talked about it enough, and it just happened to be you that asked. The last
Yeah.
one.
Keeping that
I
streak
don't know.
going.
What?
Keeping that streak going. I like it. Huh? No.
I didn't think it was.
Is that a dumb question?